The amount of racists in America is severely overestimated. The definition of racist is so vague and open-ended that anyone on earth could be labeled a racist. The denouncing of these assumed racists is akin to the citizens of Soviet Union accusing each other of not supporting the party. Anyone could be accused, and once you are, you have no defense against it. These authoritarian tactics in 202 will lead to nothing good, and people need to calm the fuck down. Severely overestimated. Heck, even I'm a little racist. I saw myself in the mirror and I started judging myself for being black. Kinda forgot what team I was on for a second. /s. I've been called racist for arguing that the amount of consideration a person is due should not be contingent upon their skin color. The word has lost all meaning. I've also been called racist for being Caucasian. Deleted. It's basically accuser culture. It's like medieval Christians calling people they didn't like heretics. Same trial by lynch mob shit and everything. So I read the article from CNN about a new book called White Fragility. Basically, all white people in America are inherently racist. If you object, then you are fragile. https://www. CNN.com/2020/06/07/health/white fragility Robin DiAngelo wellness/index. HTML, https://www. CNN.com/2020/06/07/health/white fragility Robin DiAngelo wellness/index. HTML. TBH, it just spreads more division and incites fear. A girl I've been talking to I like, who just moved here from a foreign country for university, has told me how they're scared of people here because of how we're portrayed on Twitter. It's sad that I have to have a conversation where I let them know they're not going to be lynched for being brown, and that even in our rural areas you'll be treated well, besides some parts of the deep south and northern cities. Is there a lot of ignorance? Yes, there's ignorance everywhere, but it does not make people racist or want to harm others. The only ignorance I receive constantly is that I look like I'm from China, I'm not East Asian at all, and that I speak perfect English for someone who's Chinese. I used to 100% agree with you, however I feel they've confused the terms racists, bigot, and prejudice for so long that the definition of the word racists is changing. Too easy to scream racist at a point of view that challenges your own. Being labeled as a racist is the new Maoist struggle session. With the accused being forced to espouse the party message, and complete acts of mandatory self-abasement. And collective guilt is assigned to the entire community of the accused. There is little difference between Mao's Cultural Revolution and what we are witnessing today. Edit. So far, beside body count, no one can actually tell me the difference between what America is experiencing now, and the Maoist-era struggle sessions. Here's my question: what sort of body count do any of you require to finally see the comparison? The most racist regions/countries are India, and Africa, and the Middle East. USA is one of the least racist on the planet. Elites want you to think everyone is racist to keep us divided so we don't figure out how useless they really are. Orwell's 1984 talked about this. Our language is becoming so watered down and or twisted that real communication is becoming impossible. I find I can't debate people on these topics like white fragility or toxic masculinity because no one can really agree on what exactly that means. You can't disprove that these things exist when you're not given a clear definition of what they even are in the first place. Demand for racism severely outpaces supply these days. The amount of non-racists is severely underestimated. Holy shit, this comment section is a dumpster fire. These authoritarian tactics in 202 will lead to nothing good and people need to calm the fuck down. I mean, if you asked people in the streets this week what they're so heated about, you might hear one of them use a phrase like these authoritarian tactics. Most people that the media would call racist are really people that just hate the thug life mentality. Jussie Smollett has entered the chat. What it is doing is almost certainly guaranteeing that Trump will get a second term. People see this happening and know that if the people propagating this gets into power it will get a whole lot worse, and will vote accordingly. If you're going to attack white people relentlessly, then don't be surprised that they vote against you. These authoritarian tactics in 2020 will lead to nothing good. That's the goal. They are encouraging things to crumple so they can place the blame on the current administration. Agree, because every time I think about racism, or even homophobia and related stuff, I think about actual hate, like that annoying kid you got in school and hope they broke their foot, not a racist joke for the fun and giggles. SRSLY. Make a new word if you need, but don't act like everything is hate and racism. I think it depends on the region you live in. I live in South Carolina and it is alive and well. I used to work at a school the past 4 years that the white parents were getting upset that so many more blacks were coming to the school, and when we played other schools, their fans, grown adults, would call kids the N-word and encourage their kids to injure the black kids. Also, these same other schools would sometimes refuse to play us because of the black students, or would tell the accreditation body that they refused to increase their diversity and admit more black students. Some of these schools had around one non-white student. This sub and racist apologists, name a more iconic duo. I personally don't know one person who is seriously racist. People may joke about certain stereotypes occasionally, but not one of those people would turn someone away / not be someone's friend because of the color of their skin. Racist has turned into a crutch for someone to play victim whenever it suits their need to fit a narrative. People perform elaborate mental gymnastics to broaden the spectrum of what racism encompasses so that it's easier to call anyone who disagrees a racist. It really speaks to how much of an issue racism isn't when you have to go out of your way to find it, or even make it up in some cases. I maintain my stance that the real racism is coming from those who are trying so hard to make it real, exploiting black Americans to elevate their own social status. The rest of America just treats them as regular human beings.